um, and it was a disaster. And it was one of the biggest failures of the American government in the second half of the 20th century. Again, just my opinion, one man's opinion. I've read a lot about it. Vietnam was a very bad idea. So, why did we think that it was our responsibility to defend against communism in Southeast Asia? It's not our business.
Yeah, right. And a lot of Korean soldiers made massacres in Vietnam. Yeah.
Yeah.
And can you add some more about that? And still some of the Korean Christians and Korean 20s, kind of nationalist, and some of old veterans denied to what Korean soldiers did in Vietnam, and yet they are still stating, Korean soldiers never made any urban massacres in Vietnam. Yeah.
Yeah.
My dad really hates that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, did your dad in Vietnam too?
Oh, at the time, my dad. Okay, I'll tell you about my dad and about what he did. And at the time, and he joined in a Korean Marine, 1964. Pohang, the first landing division, and he was almost he was sent to Vietnam, but he refused to join them, and he didn't go to Vietnam, and then he retired in the Korean Marine in 1966.
Okay.
And I've met his friends 1984 or 1983 when I was in the 7 or 8. They were my dad's juniors. Yeah. And they visited my home. Yeah, I was in Anyang, Gyeonggi-do. Yeah. Near Ulsan Air Base. Yeah, at the time. And they had a conversation about the Vietnam War and Korean soldiers and what they did, and then I got shocked. And then in my age of 7, one of they had a conversation about massacres. Yeah, and so what I remember is and my dad's junior, veterans and Korean Marine soldiers, veterans, and they told my dad, and some of soldiers, took out Vietnam women's and stubs. Yeah, they are female.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even chest and boobs and even they are female, and then they put those organisms organs into the bottles with some liquid. Not prevent it from being decayed. Yeah. And they came back home with those bottles. Yeah. My dad's juniors, they've seen those soldiers with those bottles. Yeah, it was really cruel and crazy. Yeah. And I was at the time 7 years old or 6 years old, and they thought that kid yeah, couldn't understand that, yeah, about what they are talking, yeah. But yeah, I remember, and I've checked that, I've checked my father, and did you make a conversation about those things at the time? Yes, it's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Recently, I've checked that. Yeah, to my
So,
dad.
yeah, I mean, so the most famous Vietnamese massacre
Yeah,
for American soldiers was called My Lai.
Bilai.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is a time and a place where some American soldiers um, came upon a village and they thought that everybody was enemy, but they weren't. And American soldiers killed many civilians.
Oh yeah,
So that massacre, it's in America, it's called the My Lai massacre.
Bilai massacre.
Yeah. Um, and that's just the most famous one. There were others as well. Um, you know, uh, Vietnam is, I think, in American history, a very bad uh, time, a very bad blemish, a very bad decision. Um, but maybe there are others because maybe we should not have invaded Iraq because Iraq did not have weapons of mass destruction as the Bush administration said it did. Um, that's also a problem, and many thousands of people died. Um, because of that. So um, America, in my opinion, has a problem with it's so easy for a president or a government to decide that, oh, somebody is doing bad. We must go and fix it and kill them. That's not the right answer. That you are not the professor of what is happening. You do not have an understanding of what's going on. Um, so, it's one thing. If somebody attacks America, if somebody invades America, then yes, by all means, defend and kill if you have to. But nobody has defended, nobody has invaded America, since the Revolutionary War. So that was, 1777, 76. Um, no one, no army has invaded the United States of America. Maybe the Mexican War was a small example, but that was before the border of America and the South was drawn. Um, no army has invaded America uh, in a very, very long time. So, and you could argue that, okay, so an army invaded America in Pearl Harbor at World War II.
Yeah, Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. So that was the Japanese, and that was the beginning of the Pacific War. And maybe the Japanese wanted to control the entire Pacific Ocean. It's true. But as far as the American homeland, the 48 states and below, and also too, the Japanese did go to Alaska as well. The Japanese did land on Alaska and occupy it. So that was maybe an issue. But Alaska was not yet an American state at the time they did that. Because Alaska did not become an American state until, I believe, 1959, 57. I can't remember. The Japanese landed on the Alaskan islands in the Pacific as well. So, that's the last time that there was bloodshed on American soil. But, America has not been attacked by a foreign power on the homeland since the Revolutionary War. So, England. I mean, England owned America. In 1775, British soldiers were in Boston and New York and Charleston, ports on the original 13 colonies. I mean, that was the last time that an enemy force occupied America. So that was the 18th century. In the modern age, America has not been under threat from an enemy with soldiers or war machines on American homeland. But we project our power and our army and our navy into other regions all the time.
Yeah.
We are an empire.
Yeah.
We are like Rome. What is that? Why? Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, World War II ended 60 years ago, 70 years ago. The Japanese surrendered in 1945. Okay, so 45. So so many years ago. The Japanese surrendered before my parents were born. And yet, I served in Japan in 1993, 94, 95. Why? Why? I don't. Me personally, I don't understand it. I mean, I think that America's defense should be Hawaii, Alaska, and maybe Guam. I don't think that I belonged in Japan. Why? They sent me. I was 22 years old, and I was serving active duty military in Japan.
Oh, you were in Asia you've been in Asia for 22 years.
No. What I mean is I was 22 years old.
Yeah. Oh, when you were 22 years old.
Yeah. So 1993 to 1996.
1993, 1996.
Yeah.
93 to 96.
Yeah. Yeah. I was at Misawa. Aomori Prefecture. Aomori Prefecture. And I liked it. It was great. It was beautiful. So good. But Signals Intelligence Unit in Misawa. And you can look online and you can find Misawa Air Base. And it's beautiful. It's gorgeous, But why? Why? 50, 60 years after World War II, why does an American military person need to be in Japan? Why? And I would say to you that it's because of American empire. It's because of America needs to project power and strength to combat communism, Russia. Yeah, I think so. I think, and this is not the American people speaking. This is the American government speaking. And so that's why I want you to watch Why We Fight.
Yeah.
I want you to watch that. I want you to look at it. I want you to I hope that you understand, but I want you to